What's up, y'all? So apparently there are people out here who still believe this WWE Saudi Arabia kidnapping shit. Look, you need to understand this. The wrestling business includes the wrestling journalists who are also constantly trying to work people and get over on people. So you need to understand this. Number one, no national media took a look at this Saudi Arabia thing. Why wasn't it on CNN or MSNBC? It was a perfect chance for them to tie Saudi Arabia, the WWE, to Donald Trump and all this type of stuff, and they didn't do it. Why not? Because there's nothing to it. Number two, there is a U.S. military base in Riyadh, the same city where the arena where the guys were performing. You mean to tell me that less than 100 miles away, there's a U.S. military base, and the Saudi Arabians are going to kidnap over 50 wrestlers, okay? Most of which are American citizens. They're going to kidnap them near an American military base, and that's just going to be okay. Third, Vince McMahon is a personal friend of Donald Trump. They've been friends and business partners for 30 plus years. You mean to tell me that we're not gonna make a phone call if our guys are getting kidnapped? We're not gonna make a phone call? That doesn't make any sense. Fourth, you mean to tell me that an airline, which is a private industry, well, a private company rather, they're going to put future earnings at risk by saying, "Oh yeah, our planes are fucked up." Because I mean, and this is just an aside. Atlas Air had an airplane which crashed about a week or so before the Saudi show. So they were being a little extra cautious when it comes to the WWE guys, because they have to fly over the fucking Atlantic Ocean. Because heaven forbid the goddamn plane crashes into the Atlantic Ocean, guess what? Nobody's going to survive. So they had to wait 2 days to make sure that the plane was working correctly. Big fucking deal. Oh, well, there were some guys who were upset, who said they're not going to go back. Well, yeah, because it's a long-ass flight that was probably stressful as hell. Guys are upset if the fucking car won't start that morning. Of course they're going to be upset. You're not going to be sitting here. You're not going to be happy to be stuck in Saudi Arabia where you wanted to go home. That's common fucking sense. That is common sense. And but the wrestling journalists, they get information from people who were not there. One of the people we're talking like Hugo Savinovich, who hasn't worked in the WWE in decades, at least a decade. But if somehow we got inside information from him, come on, man. Nobody independently verified this shit. Out of all the frustrated wrestlers, everybody who was angry, nobody came out and said, this is what's happening. I was told, and I grew up with this belief, the only way two people can keep a secret is if one person is dead. But you manage to keep a secret using almost 100 fucking people? That makes sense? Or is it that a lot of these people just hate WWE and hate the Saudi show so much that you want to make a big deal? Look, you can make a big deal, you can talk shit about it, you cannot like it, you cannot watch it. But to make up international incidents and scare the shit out of people's families, and this is the weird thing, this was supposedly a big deal, and it didn't end up on any major news site. You can Google it. It's still only wrestling sites come up. Only wrestling sites. Okay? Not even a major sports site picked it up. I didn't even see Sports Illustrated talking about it. What did I see? I saw the same motherfuckers who report everything reported that Vince McMahon, he was in a dick measuring contest with the Saudi prince. What dick measuring contest? What direct evidence have you seen to verify this? You haven't seen any. The $60 million apparently that Vince McMahon was owed is a drop in the bucket. It's not even a drop in the bucket to the billions of dollars the Saudi princes have access to. We're not talking about several $billion here. We're talking about 60 million if that's the appropriate number. Okay? So, what evidence are you going to bring out that's going to benefit and back this story? None. But people still believe this whole shit because the wrestling business is filled with workers. This includes the goddamn journalists, because there's a lot of sheep and low IQ wrestling fans who will just accept whatever they're told because they have a grudge and they want information to be shared. It makes no sense. If there was an international incident to that extent, please believe me, CNN would have known. Please believe me, Fox News would have been talking about it. Please believe me. I mean, they have tied Donald Trump to far less things than this. You really believe that they had the opportunity to tie Vince McMahon to somebody who is in Donald Trump's cabinet and they didn't do it? Come on. Be smart. I know a lot of you people are low IQ. Some of you are really young. Some of you are just old and jaded. But you need to get over it. And you need to stop it. An airline is not going to say our planes was not working properly, my bad, and risk losing business over this. And then that does not. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating because we're 5 or 6 months beyond this. There's been plenty of time for every wrestler who was there to talk about it. But apparently these guys were kidnapped and they didn't know. Apparently that's the story. Because when AJ Styles was talking about it, he didn't mention being kidnapped. He said he was told that the airplane didn't work. Which seems to be directly what Atlas Air said and what the WWE said. Which means there's 2 sources that said it. 3 if you count AJ Styles, because he would know if he was kidnapped, and then why would he be kidnapped and put in a hotel by himself? If you're kidnapping somebody, wouldn't there be like some kind of armed guard or something like that to keep you in the house, keep you in the building? Isn't that what a kidnapping is? Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the low IQ one. But I thought if you kidnap somebody, they are not allowed to leave the building. They got to go to the hotel. Oh, okay, well, I guess that makes sense. I guess Braun Strowman and all these guys just got kidnapped, but Cesaro and all these guys didn't. Or is it that the people who were riding in the chartered flight had to stay behind, and the people who didn't have the charter flight got to fucking leave? Because if you were going to kidnap somebody, why wouldn't it be Vince McMahon? You're going to let Vince McMahon leave? The guy who you supposedly in the dick measuring contest with? You're going to let him leave? You're going to let Brock Lesnar leave? Come on, man. Stop. Just stop.